this is Patriot Nick, and you're listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, where if you don't like what the host says, he'll threaten to fight you in the streets.
Hey, I'm a girl.
Oh, wait, that's not the right clip.
Guess I have to fight you in the street now.
Oh, there you go. And now here's your host.
I'll fight you in the street.
Eric Zane.
I don't care where it is. I will fight you in the street. Welcome into the Bald Renee's Hardware Fear Bunker studio for another round of the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Sun beaming in again. Lots of sunshine in my neck of the woods. That is a good thing. As well, you know, I think the idea is you never quit trying. You never give up restarting. You never, what is that they say when it comes to like cigarettes? Never quit quitting or whatever it is you're doing that's terrible. Never quit quitting, beating the gambling habit. By the way, that to me sounds like a really underrated and difficult thing to quit. Gambling. My God. I don't think I would be able to do it if I was ever in a spot where I was like, oh my God. Because, you know, you win like $5 and then you're like, oh yeah, I can do it. I can make a living doing this for the rest of my life. Holy shit. The number of times that I have talked on this show that I am back on the wagon, it's embarrassing when it comes to like eating appropriately. It's really unbelievable. And right now, I feel good. I've got a little bit of a wind in my sails. Yesterday was a fairly, I would give myself a C when it comes to eating appropriately. The big thing is no gorging. I tend to eat fast and just go on a fucking feeding frenzy when I'm hungry. But it can't possibly be that great of an eating day in an effort to just kind of be a little bit more healthy. When I didn't have one fucking vegetable. Now, I have everything in the fridge because I usually like to make a salad. And my salads are really good. I go the extra mile. For me, it's all about how the food is cut. I like salads with small bits of vegetable. Like I take the carrots and I actually make the carrots very small. I dice them. I don't mince them. I dice them. I dice the carrots. I dice the cucumbers. I dice the tomatoes. I put cabbage in my salads, and I cut them into strips, and then, you know, it's almost like everything's small. It's like a bowl full of cereal, but it's vegetables. Do the same thing with the romaine. Do the same thing with the spinach. Onion, I put out little onion bits. I cube the onion, everything. So I actually eat the salad with a spoon. You're like, God, you're weird, Eric. I know. And lately, all I do is take olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, put it into a bowl, pour some balsamic vinegar into it, and then blend it, and then just pour it over, salt and pepper on the salad, and then that's it. And it's fucking great. It is the shit. I'll put some cheese on it. I'll put some bacon bits. And it's a meal. It is freaking sweet. And I love it. The problem is dickhead, me, I don't have that stuff like cut, ready to go. If I had it prepared and ready to go, I could just throw the shit in a bowl and boom, I'm eating. But no, every time I have to do that process because I'm stupid. So then that amount of time to prepare that slows me down like you wouldn't believe. Sorry. I got a little remote control for my heater now. So I'm like, fuck. So that needs to change. But let's see. Saturday was horrible for eating. Sunday was good for eating. Aram says, I'm hearing excuses coming. Well, not yet, because I actually had a decent day yesterday. I'm just saying I need to add vegetables to my diet. That is what I need to do. Thank you, M. Williams, 13808, for subscribing for 4 months with Prime. I appreciate that. If Nick has paid for a subscription for you in the past on Twitch, say the guy is really working hard and spending a lot of money on your old pal Eric Zane. Please subscribe on your own. Don't make Nick pay for you. Okay, so in order to be thorough in my journey, I'm on a weight loss journey. I got to introduce, vegetables. No sugar. I had a small slice of frozen cheesecake on Sunday, and I'm with Lent here starting tomorrow. This is perfect. No sugar. Now, you do get a cheat day every Sunday during Lent, and I might utilize that, but I'm not going to. The goal is not to freak out and have big mass quantities of sugar get thrown into my body, and I'm basing what I'm doing here on portion control. The latest thing I'm doing is portion control. That's what I'm trying to focus on. Can't drop the E at a U. Snarkily says, please tell us more about your eating habits, maybe even your bowel movements. What about your Metamucil intake? You know what? I appreciate the suggestion about what I need to talk about on the show, but do I march in to Johnson's Carpet One Floor at Home Discount Outlet and tell you where to put piles of flooring? Do I do that at your job? I don't think I have. So what makes you think that it's okay for you to do that to me? Shut up. Shut your stupid mouth. Okay? But I'm stoked because yesterday, a good day. And I'm telling you, I'm back on the wagon. Back on the wagon. And I don't know if it's going to help me because I got this physical coming up March 9th. I don't think I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 8 days. But I got to start somewhere. I have to. I am scared to death that he's going to look at that blood work and say, okay, man, your cholesterol it needs to be medicated. God, you think you're invincible when you're younger. Oh. I don't know if I can take it if he says, yeah, I'm putting you on medication. If that's the case, officially, the NFK is healthier than your old pal Eric Zane. Healthier. Cannot have that. All right. So Fat Tuesday. Lent starts tomorrow. I know everybody's eating the punchkis here in Michigan, which is spelled P-A-C-Z-K-I. Okay. If you say so. I don't understand the Polish language. The show happens each and every weekday at about this same time. You can watch it on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. My gosh, if you're listening or watching via a different source, typically it's listening, wherever you download podcasts. if you could, go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live and hit follow. Even if you never, ever watch a damn thing, please do that. Thank you in advance. That is very, very helpful. Twitch, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Thank you. You ever notice, do any of you have an issue? Because I've noticed this as I've gotten more and more fat and disgusting. Do any of you have an odor that emanates from your belly button? Because I do. Yeah. My belly button smells like there's a smell of like, I don't know. It's just, it's not like my asshole, but it's equally disgusting. It's a different fragrance. And it's not like, it's almost like a combination of ass and ball sweat at the same time that accumulates in my belly button. And it doesn't take much to get that thing to stink. I swear to God, I can actually, when I'm on the treadmill, smell. I think there's something that's crawled into there and died or something. And the only thing that's changed is that I've gotten more gross because of my eating. And so I think perhaps because the accumulation of fat is causing this big wad of fucking muffin top, I think the interior zone of my belly button, and then the dogs are like, yeah, this is great. We love you even more now. So I'm like really grossed out with me. I think I should like stay inside for several months until this goes away. Yeah. You're already getting comments. Have you been touching it with the NFK sponge? No. Nick says, you got to clean it and dry it thoroughly. It's a breeding ground for bacteria. I do wash it. I get up there with soap. My God. It's like I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is going on here? All right, Kent, you're done. You're done for the day, Kent. Kent, I've already had it with you. Why don't you sit a few plays out? There you go. Kent has been banned for 10 whole minutes, and I'll keep an eye on the clock, and then I'm going to give you another one. Those are fighting words, my friend. So you have to sit a couple plays out. No more for you. Radio voice Linda says sweat pools in there. Yeah, but I did not have problems in the past. I think this is simply because I'm just getting too fat. So now my body is reminding me with odors that I need to do something. So all I want to do is get through today and not eat like an asshole today. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy food. I had some comfort food last night, but I had a small portion. It was a pasta type of deal with sausage in it, but I did not overeat, okay? I just kept it. And then one thing I noticed, I ate it fast again, which I'm not supposed to do. I ate it fast, and I was ready to murder some more food. But I just sat there and kind of got wrapped up in like reading the news or something like that. And then I waited like 5 more minutes. And then suddenly the desire to eat was gone. And I think what this boils down to is when you eat so fast, you don't give your system enough time to your body to talk to your stomach, to talk to your brain and say, look, you can shut it down now. You've eaten enough. So when you eat fast like that, I think I read this somewhere. You kind of override that shit. And then the next thing you know, you've overeaten like a dick. So, my God. That's what I'm doing. Amanda and Nick seem to be the experts on belly button odor. Make sure you rinse thoroughly. If you miss any soap, it could lead to a bacterial infection. Oh, my God. How do you know so much about this? Amandus is correct. That's they tell us this in our post-bariatric care. She had to go through that procedure. Radio voice Linda, I do the same thing. I have to slow down. All right. Nick, boy, he is a wealth of knowledge today. Did you know men can get yeast infections in their belly button? Oh, my God. Wings Guy 71. It takes a few minutes for the stretch receptors in your stomach to tell your brain that you're full. Kenny says, my belly button is like a black hole of disgusting lint. Well, mine, I don't know. What constitutes lint? Because mine is wet. Like when I take this finger and jam it into my belly button, it comes out wet. And it stinks like shit. All right. Enough. Dear Meathead happens tomorrow. Send in your questions, eric@ericzaneshow.com. On the Shoreliner striping inbox. I swear to God, no more gross talk today. That's it. Follow me on Facebook. The ban ends in 7 days. And then we should start a guessing game, like a bet. How long till I get banned again? Winner gets some type of prize or something. I don't know. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Thank you to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV for sponsoring me on Facebook. Follow, like. Same thing for Twitter, @Eric Zane Show. On Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. I'm on YouTube as well. Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Bell notification, thumbs up. I just posted something new to YouTube, and then I linked it up on Facebook. It is the video of my interview on the it wasn't an interview, it was a crossover episode with Mike and Jason from Threads podcast, Life Unfiltered. And man, we had a great time. It was pretty damn simple. I said, hey, let's do this. Everybody has to bring a story, each of us, and then we just kick it around a little bit. It worked out great. About 40 minutes of content on there. I have the audio podcast too. Same place you download the audio podcast normally, free. So you can add that to your listening/viewing for the day. And the video podcast is also up on my YouTube page. You may have seen it. I just posted it a short time ago. So there you go. Okay. The Ukraine madness continues on. I have some couple of stories about it, and not really about it, because I'm not going to sit there and break down every single moment. I mean, it's just you kind of get a snapshot of it every time you turn on the news. But the big thing they're talking about is the 40-mile-long caravan of heavy war equipment, I guess, tanks and rocket launchers and shit like that. I did see, after yesterday we talked about those two Ukrainian soldiers speaking, and I found out that Ukrainian is a language. I didn't know that until shortly after the show yesterday. Those two soldiers saying that they have an inexhaustible supply of javelins. And I was like, what is a javelin? You may recall in the film War of the Worlds, they launched the rocket at the gigantic alien robot or whatever as it's about to die. That's a javelin. It's a use it and lose it rocket launcher. One shot. And it is a tank busting device. It's basically a missile. It's about yay big, maybe 2.5 feet long, the missile. And you basically just hold that fucker up in the air. It goes click and then goes flying off at a high rate of speed. And it's a tank buster. And what it does, the javelin, is it almost flies in an arc. And it always hits the top of the tank, which is the weakest armor point of a tank or armored vehicle. And blows it the fuck up. One shot. And then you take the launcher and you throw it away. You grab another one. Gone. Well, they're about $173,000 a piece, which I thought would be actually more for those things. But so they have so many javelins, the Ukrainians. And I was watching a video of them shooting these things off. And what's unique about them, they've been around since 1999. Previous tank busting missiles, the launcher, the guy firing it had to utilize his own type of guidance to get it to the target. It required a lot more precision by the user. This one, not so much. You just fucking hold that thing up, shoot it, and it has its own mechanism it's heat guided. So it picks up the target and then boom, that's it. You just fucking fire the thing and there you go. And in combat, like what they're using, this is turning out to be huge. So you basically, the way warfare is, you get this gigantic tank with all this artillery on it, and just some guy holding this device can fuck up a tank, destroy it. So that is pretty cool. And I had an idea. I would want to. This would be something if we could somehow make it that the audience, we set up a thing where we all give money and buy javelins to send to Ukraine, like by ourselves, private sector, raise the money with the maker, whoever makes those fucking things, and pay for javelins and have them sent over to Ukraine. And can you imagine turning on the news? You see the only stipulation is you would have to put an Eric Zane Show podcast logo on the fucking thing. So they got to slap a sticker on it. You see some Ukrainian dude with my face on the fucking thing. Chris says, we're already paying for them. True. I want to buy more because I love this thing. So that's, I kind of focused on that a little bit after the show got done, found out exactly. Javelins and stingers. I'm not sure about the stinger. I think it's a similar type of device, but that's what they're utilizing. Terry says, oh, yeah, javelins, certainly. They have them in the Olympics, right? What makes you think that is worth any type of comedy on this show? What do you wake up and say, I'm going to provide absolutely nothing to the Eric Zane Show podcast? Because that's what that is right there. That's think about your jokes. That's the worst dad joke I've heard. And I think they call them the javelin because of the way they arc those. So thank you for that. All right, more on this. This Ukrainian works in Spain that I'm about to tell you about. He's a mechanic. And he services a yacht, a $7 million yacht owned by some ridiculously rich Russian who is a arms tycoon. And he has this big yacht in a port in Spain. And the guy who is the engineer who fixes the motor if it goes weird or anything like that and takes care of the yacht is a Ukrainian. Well, his name is Taras Ostapchuk. And he realized that in this well-publicized photo of an apartment building in Ukraine, that somehow he figured out that the device that did this damage that you see right now on the screen was from one of the weapons made by his boss. So this guy said, all right, fuck that. And went over to the yacht and tried to sink it. Watching footage of a Russian missile strike in an apartment building in Kiev, the 55-year-old Ukrainian was devastated. Then he got mad because, by his account, the weapon was supplied by his boss. And he doesn't know that. He's just assuming. The owner of the yacht he worked on, the $7 million Lady Anastasia, docked at the Port Adriano on the Spanish island of Mallorca, is a Russian arms tycoon. Ostapchuk decided to seek vengeance and sink the yacht. I told myself, what do I need a job for if I don't have a country? I tell you, these Ukrainians, you do not fuck with them. Americans, they just sit around and do fucking dance on TikTok. Ostapchuk, who was arrested by the Civil Guard National Police, said in court testimony that he viewed his boss as a criminal because he sells weapons that could have been used against Ukrainians. And in court testimony and in media interviews, Ostapchuk described opening a valve in the Lady Anastasia's machine room and another in its crew area, not wanting to harm anyone. He said, you better get off the boat. So it wasn't like he told them to get off the boat beforehand. He opens up this valve and starts flooding the engine compartment of this massive ship. And then he's like, well, you better abandon ship. So they literally had to get off as soon as possible. In my mind, they had to jump off and land in the water. I don't think they did that, but that would be something. Let's see, where was I? Ostapchuk was arrested by the Civil Guard National Police. 3 crew members protested, yelling at Ostapchuk, saying, you're crazy. He reminded them that they too were Ukrainian and that their homeland was being attacked. Other workers summoned authorities. According to court documents reviewed by the Post, officers arrived to find water filling the yacht from 2 open hatches. They arrested Ostapchuk. Appearing in a Spanish courtroom Sunday, he was unapologetic. I don't regret anything I've done. I'd do it again, he said. He added that Russian forces were attacking innocents. The attorney for Ostapchuk confirmed details of the account in an interview with the paper on Monday. Washington Post, she said the judge ordered him to be released. An investigation is underway, she said, and Ostapchuk faces charges of damaging private property. The lawyer said her client felt powerless and hopeless about the situation unfolding in his country. I think this guy might be a little dumb because I don't understand how this fucker can look at the destruction in that apartment building and say, oh, my God, my boss did this. The boss is probably like, fuck, come on. That's not mine. I make landmines, for God's sake. I only blow legs off of refugees that are trying to flee the country. He told me, I admit to what I did, but I'm not a criminal. The criminal said the one who is really guilty here is the owner of the boat. And from his release from detention, Ostapchuk headed back to his homeland on Monday. He planned to fly to Warsaw and take a bus or train to Ukraine's capital of Kyiv/Kiev. As soon as he arrives, he told reporters he'll try to join Ukrainian forces defending the country. Wow. Okay. So there's that. I kind of don't get the whole, I get it. The whole thing about war crimes. There is there's rules of engagement in war. And, the whole thing is fascinating to me. The fact that, whenever I watch World War II videos or you see, Saving Private Ryan and you see the guys with the Red Cross in their helmet, the bad guys, the Germans, when they're landing in Normandy, Germans are supposed to leave the Red Cross guys alone. And they didn't in some cases they did. But, if you're there in the heat of battle, why would you let those guys live? I think it's a rule in war. You're not supposed to shoot those dudes. But, is there some guy, is like at a tennis match, you see a guy on a chair watching the match. Is there some guy at Normandy going, all right, hold on. You just shot him. I'm taking notes. What's your name? I'm going to turn you in. I mean, how is that? How is there an honor code? Who the fuck follows the honor code in that? So, because now they keep talking about how in Ukraine, I tell you what, if I'm fighting and Russia comes and invades the U.S. and there's Russian hospital workers with red crosses on their helmets, and I've got an M60, I'm going to shoot the fuck out of them first. That's the first. Those are the first people I'm going to shoot because they're going to be the ones healing the Russian fucking idiots who can then come back and kill me in their invasion of Michigan. So I would say the first people I'm going to shoot are the hospital workers. So I've never understood rules of engagement and war crimes. To me, it's all horrible criminal activity. That's what fucking crazy. But now they're talking about how the Russians are targeting civilian places and things like that. And it's like, yeah, it's not really defined in a way that makes this easy to police, you know? I mean, holy shit. There was what was that country in Germany that I talked about recently? That the Germans or the British bombed the shit out of. I mean, to me, it's all a war crime, right? So the Russians are like, oh, wait, no, we didn't do anything, man. It was, if anything, it was just like a stray missile or something like, oh. How do you even police this? This whole thing is weird to me. But anyway. So the yacht gets temporary or kind of partially sunk. You've got war crimes. Accusations of war crimes. Closer to home. Dee Snider posted something that I'd like to share. And I think it's perfect. Dee Snider from a Twisted Sister fame. Now, this guy, God, he says some cool shit from time to time, and I just love him. All right? And the story goes that the song We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister is being adopted, or somebody's using it in videos of like Ukrainians defending their country. And Dee's like, yeah, use that shit, man. Come on. Anything to help. By all means, use the song. Have a great time. And all right. And then some of these anti-vaxxers or shit-headed MAGA hat-wearing dickheads, COVID deniers, I'm like, yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are you doing, Dee? We tried to get that song to be used when we were putting our videos together of us protesting mask mandates, man. How come you're letting those Ukrainians use it and you didn't let us use it when we're fighting for freedom here at home, Dee? What the fuck, man? This is Dee's response to you dickheads. People are asking me why I endorsed the use of We're Not Going to Take It for the Ukrainian people and did not for the anti-maskers. Well, one use is for a righteous battle against oppression. The other is an infantile feet stomping against an inconvenience. Holy shit. Dee Snider just destroyed you. You just got destroyed by a dude who puts on whore makeup and rocks out on stage with a cod piece in his pants. How does that taste? Motherfucker, that is fantastic. Whew. I love that. Thank you to whoever sent me that. All right. But no, that's not all. That's not all that I have here concerning things going on in Ukraine. And I'm going to bring in a inquisitive soul who has some things he wants to bounce off of me about Russia and Ukraine coming up next. I'm going to pick up the phone and reach out to the one and only Rick from TC Paintball, who I think can be described as not knowing shit about shit. He reached out to me and said, okay, I have very uneducated thoughts on Russia and Ukraine I'd like to bounce off you. So I said, perfect. I'll call you tomorrow. Thank you to Swanston, who's now following on Twitch. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. I heard from, hold on a second. Nick says, I don't give a shit what Dee Snider, it's Snider, has to say. Zaniac, Nick says, he hasn't been relevant in 20 years. Why start now? That's not true. Dee is, first of all, a prominent radio person. He has the House of Hair radio show that's been on for decades. And he's actually quite popular. You may not like him because you're too short to reach the radio to turn to the station that carries his show. And you're a fuckhead. So I think it's because you dissed Dee Snider. We have to sit you down for 10 minutes. I am in a mood to sit you patriots down. Okay? Enjoy that. Terry with another dad joke says he's also famous for his pretzels. And for now, the second shitty dad joke, you are getting a timeout too. That is 3 timeouts. I have given out 30 minutes of timeouts today. Kent is back. He appears to be behaving. We shall see. Yeah, I am swinging for the fences today. I don't give two shits. Talk poorly about Dee Snider. What are you, crazy? What if I told you that the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr, which is remarkably close to Lord Voldemort, Volodymyr Zelensky, once appeared on Ukrainian television playing the piano with his cock? You'd be like, what the fuck? No, that is a thing. Zelensky, I had no idea. In fact, I clicked on this video and I went, hey, this looks like Zelensky. It's because it is Zelensky. Lucien Rob wrote Ukrainian Barry, a.k.a. the GD president. He's the one on the left. Here's further information from his Wikipedia page. Now, I don't know about you, but the world was introduced to Zelensky when the story came out about when Trump blocked $400 million of military aid to Ukraine to pressure Zelensky during the July phone call between those two. Hey, I'm not going to give you $400 million unless if you investigate wrongdoing by Joe and Hunter Biden, which is complete bullshit. And then, by the way, Trump's like, oh, yeah, I'm the biggest supporter of Ukraine, though Putin's a genius. Biden's doing it all wrong. Yeah, do you think they could have used $400 million in military aid, you orange fuck? Hunter Biden took a board seat on the Ukrainian natural gas company, Burisma Holdings. That was the catalyst for the Trump-Ukraine scandal and the impeachment inquiry against Donald Trump. Zelensky has denied he was pressured by Trump and declared that he does not want to interfere in a foreign election. Yeah, nice try. We all know he did it. Fuck Trump. Well, anyway, that's about the first time we had found out about Zelensky. However, shit, this guy played the piano with his cock. He used to be in like comedy and entertainment. That was his thing. At age 17, he joined the local KVN, a comedy competition team, and was soon invited to join the United Ukrainian team, which performed in the KVN's Major League. I guess they have comedy leagues, whatever. He's been in several feature films. He's been a voice actor, and he was on this TV show. And I'm not exactly sure what the name of this TV show is. But not only is this ridiculous that the president of Ukraine played the piano with his dick, but look at the wails of laughter by these Ukrainians who have low standards for comedy. And this is really stupid. All right, so here you go. This is it. It's foreign language, but you'll get the idea.
Рояль есть, и темы на вариации Балтийского берега за роялем братья Цицко.
Okay, now Zelensky's on the left. There he is. Not him. The other guy. Okay, now I understand, obviously, you're listening to the audio podcast. It's similar to yesterday. Yesterday's audio podcast, I had that clip of this dude speaking Ukrainian, bitching at the Russians. I cut the whole thing out. I left like 2 seconds of it, and then I put the note. I edited it. You got to watch it. So in the show notes, you'll be able to see it. But for the rest of you live on Twitch, let's enjoy it. Now watch. Right now, you can see them fumbling with their pants. The grand piano would be covering the dicks of Zelensky and his big-headed pal here. And Zelensky's fumbling with his pants. So's the other guy. And then look at, they drop their pants. And look at these people howl with laughter. Now we're supposed to believe that these two are playing the piano with their dicks. And these people eat it up. They're like, oh my God, he's got a very powerful dick. By the way, I've seen a lot of Ukrainian women in the news. Even the old women are beautiful. Ukrainian women are almost as attractive as Armenian women. Oh my God. Even the old senior citizens are hot and bangable. Oh, like every shot you see of these chicks in the crowd, they're all like fucking stone cold stunners. Zelensky's wife is a total babe too. That is Ukrainian for I'm about to bang this piano with my meaty cock. See, look at it. She's hot. Her mom's hot. Look at this guy. He is laughing uproariously at this stupidity. All they're doing is playing any fucking sound backstage, and these guys are bending their knees to make it look like they're banging the piano with their dicks. This is so stupid. And this guy is dying. Look at. Look at his wife's like, get the fuck off me, you Ukrainian fuck. She's hot. Look at her. All right, let's fuck this shit. This is so stupid. But that is the dude. Incredible. Ken says, I love that the Johnson's logo is up for this segment. Yeah. How about that? Zelensky was also on their version of Dancing with the Stars. I don't know, Zane, you have the hots for Gretchen Whitmer. Dude, you may not like her politics, but Gretchen Whitmer is a fucking knockout. I don't care what you tell me. Most of you clumsy, degenerate, red state, MAGA scum know that Whitmer is attractive, but you don't like the fact that she's a Democrat. And then you say stupid things because of that. But I am much smarter than you, and I look beyond the politics, and I know for a fact she is a remarkably attractive lady. What the fuck is wrong with you? She is a very attractive lady. And when you get my age, that age is attractive. I don't look at young women and go, oh my God, she's so hot. I might say, yes, she's attractive, or yes, she's hot, but I'm not turned on by young people. I look at women that are about, 48 to 60, because I'm in that window. So yes, she is attractive. Nate, who is one of you MAGA scum, writes, not attractive now, wasn't attractive when he was on the Wheaties box. So that's a joke suggesting that she looks like Bruce Jenner. You see, you let politics get into it, and you're just a stupid asshole. I'm glad you're moving to whatever state it is you're leaving to. We can't have you leave quick enough. You get out. You should leave your family behind because they're obviously more intelligent than you. Okay? By the way, I sent Nate to the hockey game over the weekend. I threw out on my Twitter page that I was giving away tickets to the hockey game. And I said that I have 4 center ice lower bowl tickets for the hockey game tonight, Saturday night. For one of you, they go to whoever can say the meanest, funniest thing possible about your old pal Eric Zane. Nothing is off limits. Please only try if you can actually attend. You have till 4 p.m. Nate was one of the people who contributed. He writes, I'm moving my family to Kentucky just to get out of the same state as you. A big-nose, Gretchen Jenner loving Nazi troll. I'm still surprised your wife hasn't fired you from the house with that pathetic podcast you spew out of it daily. So he won with that. It is fantastic. All right. So that's where I stand. That officially concludes my portion of the Ukrainian update in the news. I hope no one dies today, but I'm guessing many will. In all seriousness. Let's see. Let's bring in the one and only Rick from TC Paintball. God damn it. Okay, hang on a second. Do it again.
You look so amazing in that sundress. Is Kenny listening? He likes that one.
Does he say that he doesn't like it as he voiced that before? He doesn't like anything.
No. Kenny doesn't like much. You're right. But
No.
Kenny really likes when I do that, I think.
I'm guessing he'll make some comment or something like that. But anyway, welcome in, Rick from TC Paintball. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Never better. You got the kids off to school okay?
I did. They got on the bus, and I did some battle on 96. The left lane there, a bunch of idiots. I wish I had one of them javelins, but at $172,000 a pop, oh my God!
Yeah, those things are cool. If you, I think I should link up some video of some tests being done. You see how they work. It's really great. Fantastic device. Fantastic device.
It always takes me back to the movie Red Dawn, the original one with when they had the RPGs.
Right, rocket-propelled grenades, which basically you kind of have to eyeball and hope that it hits. Now, war is incredible. Nowadays, you can be basically a ragtag population of people, and the amount of technology that is being made to this ragtag population of Ukrainians is really going to spoil the party, I think, for the Russians, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, why not when you can be secretly funded by a world power, you know?
Oh, yeah. And I don't even think it's secretly, you know? I mean, right. I think basically the U.S. is like, hey, we're going to let, all of the civilians basically kick the ass of the Russians. So every man, woman, and child has a javelin to blow up Russian tanks.
But it throws off your numbers, right? When you're trying to consider how many troops you're taking, how much equipment you're taking, how many troops they have. If all the civilians are fighting too, it kind of throws a monkey wrench into those plans a little bit.
Right on, Rick. Right on. Well, I see you wrote that you have some uneducated thoughts, which is pretty much everything associated with this podcast, on the entire Russian-Ukraine thing. So please.
Well, I don't have anything profound. I mean, when I sent that message, I was referencing more of a conversation you and I would have on the phone and not in front of everybody else. So if you're waiting on me to say something profound or dynamic, I really don't have it.
No. I thought you had questions or something because you actually wrote, I have uneducated thoughts or questions about the conflict.
No, I mean, just, there's a lot of people talking about it turning into a nuclear endeavor, which I don't think is going to happen. But, if you know your history, and obviously, it's been documented that I do enjoy my history and my history podcast. Every time Russia gets invaded, it's through the Ukraine. And they said before they didn't want a NATO power next to them at their doorstep, and that was going to be a problem. I mean, I think it would be the same thing if Russia, became close friends with Mexico and started setting up shop down there. And we'd probably be doing the same thing. We'd probably invade and say, okay, enough of that. We're going to protect our borders. And, I don't believe there's really, well, I got to preface this because I think Putin probably is a little bit evil. He's just a madman. But when you bring nationalism into things, I don't know that good and evil really is valid anymore because everyone's trying to do what they're trying to do for their own personal salvation in their own country. So, most of what they're doing probably they think is the right thing to do. I don't think they're trying to go out and kill Ukrainians. I think they're trying to protect their borders. And I'm not pro-Russian. I mean, don't let me.
Right. So that's assuming that if Russia is like, hey, our big concern is a mass of troops building at the Ukrainian border, which I don't know if there was I don't think there was a NATO force or anything. I think basically it's kind of like these two have been staring each other in the face for a couple of decades.
Right. And I just don't think, I have a hard time giving opinions and listening to other people's opinions that don't live in Europe because Europe is completely different than where we live. I mean, there's powers next to them. We don't have real powers next to us. We're pretty isolated over here. We have oceans in between and stuff, and we're pretty sovereign. But, over there, it's a different story. And, that's why World War I started, because you had a whole bunch of big bullies all on the same block, and someone had to throw the first punch, and that's what happened. So I think it's a different world over there.
Well, now, you and you live in Kent County. I live in Ottawa County. What if, the various scumbags that live in Allegan County decided to amass at the border with rocks and what other weaponry, maybe some rope and horses. And I mean, that's what it would be like being that close to a population of people. That is something that Americans haven't really ever had to experience, just like you were saying. Obviously, no threat from Canada, no threat from Mexico, really. So that is a weird way to live. I can't imagine living under that specter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different world, a completely different dynamic than we're used to. When we hear about world conflicts, they're always half a world away. Well, almost always. Almost always half a world away, and we're pretty isolated from them. So it's easy to have an opinion when we know we're relatively safe. Shit could hit the fan and we could get involved stateside, but it's pretty unlikely. It's hard to really understand what those people are going through or how they live their lives.
Yeah, it's very scary. Very scary. I'm assuming you'll be watching the State of the Union address this evening, right, Rick?
No. I'll be watching something on Netflix, I'm sure.
Okay. When what are your thoughts about Paintball War 18?
I was looking at my calendar. I've got a lot of busy weekends coming up, but a free one I think is the end of March, the 27th. That's between a couple tournament dates that I have, and I'm not out of town. If we want to make that happen on the 27th, I can make that come true for sure.
Okay, let me take a quick look. I have to look at it upside down. Okay, the 26th is 27th is Sunday. Yes, I have that free. Is that what you said, the 27th?
27th, yep.
That'd be
I'm into it. If you want to plan on that day, we can start promoting that right now.
March 27th, Paintball War 18.
Man, 18 of them, huh?
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's been Rick. I don't know if everybody knows the history, but when I got fired from Free Beer and Hot Wings in February of 16, Rick may have been the first person to reach out to me who said, "Hey, why don't we partner up or something like that?" And basically it was like he gave me a few $100 and I hung up a little a TC Paintball cloth. It was like a rag, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a microfiber rag. Yep.
It's a microfiber rag I hung up behind me in my living room, and he paid me for that. And and you were at the old location when that happened.
Yeah, I remember you. I remember the day that you walked in for our meeting with your cute little vest on and stuff. And I'm like, man, he looks taller on the radio.
Shit. And the rest is history. And then, of course, 2 years, 9 months of radio. Were you on the radio at all?
No.
Okay.
No, I always considered radio advertising too expensive. So when you ended up not being on the radio, but still had a lot of your audience, and the Free Beer and Hot Wings audience was kind of split on the whole thing, I thought that was a good opportunity that you probably needed some money for the short term, and I needed some guerrilla marketing. So I thought it worked well, and it's still working well.
Thank you. I do and I appreciate that very much. It's been an incredible lifeline. Do you ever hear from radio companies about marketing?
No, not lately at all. I think I did before. Well, when they used to have employees, number one, but I think I did before I got into bed with you. I think anybody that pays attention to what you have going on knows that I'm there too. So I think they don't approach.
Oh.
But before that, I would get calls. I mean, I did a TV commercial a long time ago on cable TV. Just because I was approached, I got talked into it, and I thought I would give it a try. I still have a copy of it somewhere. And I did a few other radio promos, but nothing real heavy, and it was always very selective, and I tried to get the best bang for my buck and whatnot. But lately, I mean, I haven't been approached in years now.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Anything on the horizon for our favorite professional paintball player, Rick, in terms of tournaments and things like that?
Yeah, our season starts. We actually got our layout last weekend. We were down in Indiana this last weekend. This weekend we'll be down in Indianapolis, further into Indiana, practicing another semi-pro team. And then our first event is in Florida. I leave a week from tomorrow to head to Florida for that weekend.
Okay. I'm going to bang on the door of the local Ukrainian church and the local Russian church and see if we can get some real heat going for Paintball War 18.
We should get Datsuk and Ovechkin here.
All right. Very good, Rick. Hey, I appreciate you, okay?
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you. There you go. Rick from TC Paintball. Legend. That's awesome. Thank you, buddy. Good to hear from you. If you ever want to talk with Rick about something that he's really passionate about, mention the Kennedy assassination. Oh, boy. He is all in that Kennedy was not killed by a lone gunman. Okay? That is, whew. Do not get him. If you want to get him started, just be prepared because it's going to take a while. Block out a couple hours of time. He's got like evidence exhibits within arm's reach at all times. So if you ever want to talk to him about that, I'm telling you, he makes a compelling argument that Kennedy was assassinated by something else other than Lee Harvey Oswald. Now, when he talks about it, I don't listen because he's crazy. So I just like, fuck. I don't believe this. Anyway, I don't believe shit you're saying. I don't believe any of what you're talking about because I am a lone gunman guy. Okay, I am the opposite, and I'm right. Rick is not right. He's wacky about the whole thing. All right, I just had him on my side. Now I lost him again. Holy shit. How does that keep happening? Kate says, I like it when Rick calls in. Well, that's cool. Nice to hear from Rick without a veiled threat of unsponsorship. Kyle says, was he one of those Q idiots who thought JFK was coming back to run with Orange Crush? Yes, he was. He's wearing a QAnon T-shirt right now. All right. Jesse says, I guess Rick isn't mad at Zane. Then Rick says, don't get me started. Well, he is now. He is now because I hung up on him, and then I proceeded to put him in this light. And that's my job. All right. Does Rick listen to Plain Talk John? He mentioned the same premise the other day on his show about if Russia set up shop in Mexico or Cuba, we would probably be unhappy too. Right. But the U.S. and the UN is not setting up shop in Ukraine. That hasn't happened. So, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't know. Adam says the scumbags in Allegan County have been arming themselves for years. Kent says Allegan County would have nooses and white robes. Russia, Rig 625 says Russia has Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia on their border, all NATO countries, Rick. Oh, no. Oh, no. See, I didn't claim to know. Rick probably heard that shit on Joe Rogan. That's what Rick does. He listens to Joe Rogan, who is 99% wrong out of everything. It's either, here's Joe Rogan. 99% of what he says is either wrong or racist or inflammatory in some way. Then 1% is actually, fact. There you go. All right. The show happens on Patreon when I'm all done with this one. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you so much if you've been supporting the Patreon. More podcasting. 15 plus hours of podcasting each and every day. Supposed to have a show with Throat/Dale today. Smarter than a former drug dealer trivia. Yes, that is happening. Just got confirmation. We will have a game to play. I believe is it Brian? God, I always forget this guy's name. Brian. Yes, Brian M. is taking on Dale. Brian out of South Carolina is taking on Dale in trivia. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. $5 or $10 a month. Sign up and enjoy more podcasting. Okay. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage brings you the open. 231-332-6505. Thank you to Mario and his team over there for helping get people mortgages. If you're looking for a second mortgage, a refi, your first mortgage, whatever it may be, call upon Mario. He can help you, of course, if you have a great credit score and if your credit score is not so great. And I like to always stress that not every person who does mortgages is in that type of realm. They might be like, oh, God, I got a guy with a low credit score and he wants a small loan. Oh, my. I roll, try to pass him off to somebody else. Not Mario. No. 231-332-6505. Call today. My Policy Shop Insurance. That is Frank the Tank Fuss. You may need a supplemental health insurance policy. You're looking at what your workplace offers. You have workplace insurance. You think, oh, I'm covered. Not so fast. Sometimes your workplace will offer you a supplemental insurance policy, but not all the time. So if you get sick or something happens to you, maybe you're in a car wreck or something like that, not all of those insurance costs are going to be covered in some cases by your employer insurance, because employer insurance sometimes stinks. Yeah, price goes up every year on your premiums, but the coverage decreases. Well, you can fill in all those gaps with a supplemental health insurance policy. And that can also protect you if you have to sit back and can't earn a paycheck. That supplemental policy costs very little, and you get so much. Reach out with a call or text to Frank to find out more information. This is just your simple fact-finding mission. Just reach out to him and say, hey, Frank, Eric Zane talks about this. What is it? Do I need it? What do I do? And he tells you everything you need to know. I'm telling you, he takes care of everything. And you don't pay a dime for his services. You buy a policy, well, of course you're going to pay for that. But for what he's doing for you, zero cost. You got to tap his brain on one of several topics. What I just talked to you about. Also, a life insurance policy. Medicare, if that's you or someone you know or love in the near future, 65 years old. Or perhaps buying insurance through Obamacare, which is what your old pal Eric Zane does. 616-914-4070. In fact, my daughter Jacqueline, I haven't talked about this yet, but she just got fired. That's what she called about on the Patreon on Friday when she called and said, I don't want to be on the podcast. And I turned the mic down. She says to me, I just got fired. They fired all the inside salespeople. So Diana's out of work. Or not Diana. Jacqueline is out of work. Everybody got shit canned at her place. So she just talked to Frank because the workplace is like, you can get Cobra. Cobra's a scam. It is such bullshit. No. She went and got a policy on the marketplace. Frank took care of her. 616-914-4070. Now I'm stuck, or Frank's stuck with me for the next year. He bought 1 year of marketing at a greatly reduced price, fucker. Anyway, he bargained the hell out of me. I was not prepared for that. He kicked my ass. Anyway, it's important you call on Frank. All right? And say, Frank, Eric Zane sent me 616-914-4070 for any of the shit that I just talked about. Full House Comedy has comedy coming to the area. Hal Sparks is in town this week. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. If you want to see where and buy tickets, go to fullhousecomedy.com. All right, I got a lot of show left and not enough time to get it done. Stand by. I need water. In fact, no, I better not. I was going to cram one more sponsor in here, but I was like, I'll just wait. Let me just hold off on that. All right. What else is burning on the brain? What else is burning on the brain? I have an update on this cop out of the community of DeWitt, Michigan, near the Lansing area. Thank you to Adam S., I believe, who reached out to me with this. what you're about to see is the reinstating of Officer Stump. Officer Stump is the guy in the light-colored shirt. And then this dude across from him was the dumb shit from the charter who tried to railroad him out of his job because it was taking too long for him to heal from an in-the-line-of-duty injury. I don't remember if I talked about this on the Patreon or the free podcast yesterday. By the way, yes, I just turned up the volume a little bit. Sorry about that. That is the township clerk. Okay, so that's not the bad guy, right, Adam? Adam, I should probably get you on to help me tell this story. You should like email me your phone number or leave it right there on the chat if you want. I don't give a shit if you don't mind. I don't think anybody's going to call you and say, hey, tell me what happened. Because you were there to see this happen. Adam was so pissed off that he actually went to this meeting. And this dude, this Stump guy, Stump was fired. Like 2 years ago, Stump was, they were trying to get this woman in control who was driving, and she was a menace on the roads. And she was a drunk driving deal, and she's hammered, and they're trying to slow her down. And Stump put out the spike strips, and but despite that, thank you, Adam. She kept driving, and then she finally wanted to kill herself. So she drove across the median and then crashed head on into Stump, and it fucked him up bad. So that stopped her. Stump lived. She lived. She's in trouble. But the big story, thank you, is Stump, while recovering, was fired. And the bad guy in this story said, yeah, it's taking too long to recover. You're fired. The fuck? By the way, I think I had your number already. Hey, Adam, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well. And you went to this meeting yesterday, right?
I did.
Now, you didn't know ultimately if he was going to get sworn in yesterday, but they actually did reinstate him, correct?
That is correct. So what? So Mr. Township manager was basically directed the board, saying, please tell me to open negotiations with the union to further his benefits until February of 23.
Oh, okay. So they wanted to keep him recovering, like health care, things like that, keep him paid while he recovers.
Yes.
Okay. So, and they allowed that to happen, yes?
Yep. So the board said, go ahead and do that. And I mean, they finally got to that after 3 hours of, the meeting of public comments and things like that last night. It was something else.
Was there a lot of like fist pounding, pissed off people talking at the podium, things like that?
Yeah. Especially Mrs. Stump. I'd say she was she kept it together, but boy, was she pissed.
My God, I can't imagine and didn't they fire him with like an affidavit? They like sent him a note saying it's taking too long to recover. We're cutting you loose.
Yes, and I actually spoke to his union rep last night at the meeting. So there was no Officer Stump was summoned to come to the township office, and he let his union rep know about 10 minutes before that meeting, like, hey, can you come into this? And then Andrew Demchick, the township manager, he was basically, no, it's taking too long. See you later.
Wow.
And the union is also filing a grievance. So the other character in this is like the township attorney, whom I think is kind of leading the charge behind all this. But lawyers with happy clients don't get paid, right? So I think she's part of the problem too, because she's like, well, the union contract states that we had to terminate him. I'm like, what? So it was bad optics. Mr. Manager guy was, backpedaling as soon as that, that topic came up.
Yeah, didn't he and I think you indicated to me, he said something like, oh yeah, he used the old, this is a teachable moment and I'm going to do better.
Yeah. So right when Mrs. Stump, she was the first one to speak out of everybody.
Yeah.
Then the manager was like, yep, I messed up. This is a teachable moment. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so ultimately he's getting a new hip, and this was all, the hip injury was because of obviously the crash that happened in the line of duty when he's trying to protect the public.
Yes.
So he's going to get the hip, he's going to recover, and then he'll be able to be working again. Is that what we're being led to believe?
That's what we're being led to believe.
Well, yeah, he's sworn in again. So, I mean, I doubt that they would, that obviously means, hey, you're a cop again.
It is. He's just not on active duty right now just because he's not obviously
right
away there. Yeah. Yep.
This is not a big community. They only have like 17 cops there. And
right.
So, all right. And I understand that they've got budgets and things like that, but this is absolutely what is right. Is there some speculation that the guy who was the troublemaker for the township, him and Stump don't get along because Stump was a union rep and did a good job in various negotiations?
Yes, that was very much what the other speaking with the officers last night. That's exactly what part of it is, and they feel like they have a bullseye on their back now.
Okay. Well, you know what, though? All it takes is the glaring eye of the public and the media, and people have a tendency to straighten out. It's really amazingly effective. It really is. Well, take a look at this. I mean, here we are days after this story started to spread around the world. He's getting sworn in again.
Right.
So I think Fuckhead is going to be behaving.
I think so too.
All right. Hey, what's your history? Have we spoken before?
We have. Years ago, we first came in somewhat direct contact since former playing with the drug Throat/Dale, that game.
Oh.
Yeah. I played that a few years ago. But I used to listen to you on the old show.
Uh-huh.
And then I was co-listening for about 5 years. And then about less than a year ago, I quit the other show.
You gave it up. You said, I'm done. No more.
5 years.
Oh, boy. Oh, well. So, and you're in the Lansing area, correct?
Yeah. Yep. I grew up in Allegan, but then when I was in my late teens, my family moved to the Lansing area.
Have I ever said anything on this show that made you so angry you shut it off?
No.
Well, I'll have to try harder then.
Yeah, even with the Allegan digs, I can't disagree. It's all true.
Okay, Adam, thanks for the update on the story. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Have a good day, Eric.
All right, buddy. You too. There you go. Bye. That is Adam S. out of the Lansing area of Michigan. Can you believe that? The cop gets badly hurt in the line of duty by a lady, and she was trying to kill herself. So she said, all right, there's a cop. And then she hit him head on, and he got fucked up. I mean, it was bad. And he's still trying to get out of that deal. It's taken a long time. He's had all sorts of setbacks that have slowed him down in his recovery. And you shouldn't be, when you're trying to get healthy, have to deal with this type of bullshit. My God, shame on those fucking idiots. Yeah, figure it out, asshole. This isn't a game here. This is just terrible. I'm just so glad that he got sworn in again. So hopefully everything will continue to proceed appropriately. Speaking of more bullshit on a more national, around the world scale, The name Hugh Jackson may ring a bell. His name may ring a bell because he was the guy who, when you remember that football coach named Brian Flores who sued the NFL. They said, he's like, hey, man, I didn't get hired. It was the one, Flores was the guy that Belichick reached out to him thinking it was another guy because Belichick's such a clumsy fuck. And said, yeah, hey, congratulations on the job. And it was actually the white guy who got the job. And Flores like, holy shit, it started that whole lawsuit thing. Radio Voice Linda says, by the way, the Steelers hired Flores as an assistant. Yeah, that makes sense. They created the Rooney Rule. But anyway, Hugh Jackson, is that what I said his name was? Yeah. Hugh Jackson used to coach the Cleveland Browns, and he's one of these black dudes who said, well, not only that, he was involved in this because he said that the Browns, because one of the Dolphins, Flores said that the Dolphins tried to pay him to lose games on purpose, and Hugh Jackson said, yeah, the Browns did the same thing for me, man. They tried to get me to lose games on purpose. Jackson is the head football coach of Grambling State University. And he just hired a guy by the name of Art Briles, who, wow, he was involved in a real shit show. So people are like, why did you hire Art Briles? So while they're looking into why he hired Art Briles, they found out some more shit about Hugh Jackson. First of all, he chose to hire former Baylor coach Art Briles as his offensive coordinator. Briles was fired from Baylor years ago, back in 2016, because he was covering up, well, there was sexual allegation cover-ups were alleged against him and other coaches on his staff. It was ugly. It was a horrible, horrible thing. And Jackson's statement was, we believe that through the hiring of Coach Briles and the well-developed programs we have in place, this hire will be instrumental in teaching others the importance of knowing how to prevent victimization, proper reporting procedures. So basically he said, yeah, this is actually a good hire for us. We're going to hire the guy who covered up all the rape, and then we're going to have him close by. And then if there's ever an allegation of rape, we're going to say, hey, you don't want to be like this guy. We got to have him. That's what he's saying there. Yeah, this is a reminder that you don't cover up rape because this fuckhead's one of our coaches. Now, I know that sounds really fucked up. That's because it is. What? So that's bad. This hire will be instrumental in teaching others the importance of knowing how to prevent victimization, proper reporting procedures, provide adequate resources to individuals who have been victimized. All the shit Briles circumvented, and develop strong law enforcement partnerships within the community. So everybody was scratching their heads like, how the fuck? Why would you? Aren't you like Mr. Woke Coach? You would think that somebody who's trying to talk about equality in sports as a black head coach and a coach of a black college, Grambling State, you're going to hire some white piece of shit who's covered up all this shit. By the way, I don't know if Art Briles is white or black. Art Briles, let's see. He's white. I thought so. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, no. I might have done it again. Remember a couple weeks ago when I said Eli Whitney was a black guy? Hey, welcome. It's Eric Zane Show. Welcome to Celebrating Black History. Take a look at Eli Whitney here. So, once this ridiculous hire took place, that if you're going to do a ridiculous hire like that, you're going to want to make sure that your house is in order. Because if it's not, someone's going to find out about you. And they have. Hugh Jackson has a charity foundation. The Hugh Jackson Foundation. It was founded in 2017. This foundation was put in place to help address, educate, and prevent human trafficking. So he's in charge of this foundation for that. He's going to hire the assistant coach who covers up rape. And people start poking around at your foundation. This is what has been discovered. Dan Murphy from ESPN tweets out, in 2019, the Hugh Jackson Foundation collected $158,000 to benefit, to help address, educate, and prevent human trafficking. $115,000 of those dollars went to the foundation's sole paid employee. And $15,000 more was spent on travel. They gave out $4,000 in grants to address, educate, and prevent human trafficking. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Wow. What's that site called? Charity Watch or something like that you can look up to see if something's shitty? How about that math right there? Well, the Twitter handle at Hugh Jackson FDN chirped back and made it worse. Now, all this guy did was just posted what's on the books. Simple investigative work. You can that charities have to report this shit. So these guys reported, like, hopefully no one will notice that somebody's getting $115,000 in salary and another $15,000 to travel. At Hugh Jackson FDN writes, what you failed to report is where that money came from. Hugh himself was the largest donor, and he personally donated over 75% of the funds. I personally donated from my salary back to the organization as well. Our records are clean. They may be, but you're still paying a person close to you $115,000, and $4,000 of the $158,000 collected went to actual people who could benefit from your charity. You asshole. Oh, my God. Whew. Oh, my God. Jason Schaefer says, wow, I'm going to start a, quote, foundation and retire. Man. Some of the comments. This person writes, yes, the classic 83% administrative cost, the nonprofit standard. This person wrote, yeah, so this is a fraud, and retweeted out Dan Murphy's tweet. Derek writes, Hugh Jackson, stand-up citizen and professional con artist. Stuart Mandel wrote, this whole situation is infuriating. Justin writes, once again, something involving Hugh Jackson stinks to high heaven. Adam writes, my man's a walking L. I can't even lie. There you go. So you hire the guy who loves rape, and then it's revealed that your charity, which is supposed to, help out people, who might be victims of human trafficking, You're basically defrauding people or somehow finding a way to pay someone close to you. Oh my God, what a mess. Embarrassing. I hope it's criminal so that guy can be thrown in jail. Holy shit. Okay, today's the day. Tag accounting. In less than 5 hours, less than 6 hours, I will be with the Tax Hobbit. Today is the day. This is everything inside of here is the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is my Brian Callahan portfolio that he gave me. And inside of here is a ton of 1099s and documents and shit all piled up. I've got all my little things. I did my preparations. All I had to do is gather all this shit. And I'm going to sit next to the Tax Hobbit and we're going to figure this shit out. Fingers crossed that we can escape. It's weird. You're like, how does that even happen? Well, this is what happens. The podcast, you have made this podcast so damn successful that every year the government gives me, your old pal Eric Zane, a tax subsidy on health insurance. Okay? It's like when you know how like when you get your paycheck, you see you pay for some and your employer pays for the other? Well, tell you what, I'm going to get into the story in a second. Let me just first of all tell you, tag accounting 616-301-9516. Okay. There's still time for you to reach out to Troy. You've got till whatever, April, whatever it is, to get your taxes done. Have your personal taxes done by Troy, the Tax Hobbit. Call the office. Talk to Barbara or PJ. 616-301-9516. Say, Eric Zane sent me. I want Troy to do my taxes. Okay? And doesn't matter where you are in the U.S. Like, for example, all the stuff that's in this folder, you'd have to upload it on his online portal. I choose to do it in person. You can do that, too, if you want. But if you're not in the immediate area, like if you're in New York State or Maine or whatever, Tennessee, you got to upload it to the portal. But it's cool. He's going to let you know what day your taxes are being done. Keep your phone handy in case he has a question for you. And then your taxes get done. Your money shows up in your account. Voila, you're done. Doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, too. I'm guessing for the average return, $100, $125 tops. Perfect. Reach out to Tag Accounting, 616-301-9516. JM Synthetics, Jason Mays sells AMSOIL products. And your old pal Eric's about due for an oil change on the embellisher. 616-747-0233. If you want any AMSOIL lubricants, you have to do it this way. You buy it from Jason Mays. In fact, go to his website, jmsynthetics.com. Jason's number that I just gave out is right there. Pick out what you want to buy. Call him or text him. Say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I listen to Eric Zane, and I want this. Then it shows up at your door. You're done. A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Thank you so much for being part of this show. If you need anything for your furnace or your air conditioner, if it's just a cleaning, a tune-up, whatever it may be, keep it running right with A&E Heating and Cooling. How about some scheduled maintenance? This thing's not running right. Have them show up during business hours. You won't pay an arm and a leg. If it's an emergency, they will show up 24/7. You will pay out the ass for it, but you'll get your heat back on. 616-516-8579. If you got a major project, get estimates from two other jamokes in the area, and then have Joe be third at A&E Heating and Cooling. He will beat the other two. If he doesn't, tell him Eric Zane said you're going to beat these other two, so I believe you're going to charge me less than these two. And he's going to go, ay, 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 and then he will. 616-516-8579. Don't forget, I mentioned Threads Podcast, Life Unfiltered. I did a crossover episode with the boys yesterday. It's available wherever you download this podcast. And I also have the video version of it up. I posted on Twitter, and it's on my YouTube channel. Threads Podcast, Life Unfiltered. Weekly episodes. They run about an hour, and it's good. Something else to listen to. Add that to your listening options. Threads, podcast, life unfiltered. So, because you've made the podcast successful, it's been a two-way street. I work hard. You support the sponsors. The sponsors keep coming back. The Patreon's grown. The listens on the free podcast. You know how, like, when you listen to the free podcast, you hear an ad? That's all part of this whole racket I'm running. And then, you know, if you make too much money, though, you lose your government subsidy. The government wants to make sure you have health insurance. Okay? So they cover most of the cost of your premium for your health care. It's actually a wonderful system. And I think anybody that says Obamacare sucks is a fucking moron and just hasn't gotten into the program appropriately. I think it's excellent. It's done nothing but amazing things for us. You have to do your homework. That's why I have Frank Fuss to help me with that. But I love Obamacare. Shit, yeah. And if you don't make a ton of money, you pay very little for excellent health care. So, yes, the podcast is being successful. But if I make too much fucking money, I got to pay all that shit back. That's the law. And it's like, if you make $1 more than this one threshold, you're fucked. And last year at this time, I was fucked. I had a tax bill that was like 20 large. It was over $20,000. And then Biden did a one-time thing. He said, nobody has to pay that. Pandemic, I'm wiping it clean. So it was a last-second Hail Mary. So this year, I'm like, oh, fuck. So what I have to do is I have to add up all the income, and then I have to add up all of my expenses. And I don't know. I'm just not confident. It's, you know, you make too much, you got to pay it back. That's the rules. I'm not complaining. Could be worse, you know? So I consider myself very lucky if I have to pay that large sum of money. And I think I have the document right here, in fact. That one, no. All these 1099s, holy shit. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Department of Health and Human Services. If I hit that threshold, I owe $967 for January. I owe $1,217 times 4. That is $5,835. Then I owe $1,413 times 7. That's 12 months. Monthly advance payment of premium tax credit. It's right there in black and white. That means I would have to pay back the government $15,726 off the top. Fuck. So, now I'm going to say that I've got about a 5% chance that I won't have to pay that. I mean, it's simple math. Money coming in and expenses. Now, I will gladly pay that back because it's my duty. You don't want to cheat. You pay that shit back, and then that's the end of it. Like I said, it could be worse. So when you bitch about the $800 you owe, now that's just for the health care. If I happen to underpay my taxes like I did last year, it's going to be remarkably more. So I'm sweating. I will be happy if I can get away with 10 large, with paying 10 large. So I don't want to hear about you and your $400 tax bill. None of you are going to be paying more than me. None of you. Not a one. Okay? So when you get your tax bill, if you most of you are probably going to get money back, and that's just the way it goes. But if you do have to pay more than me, that'll be a fucking miracle. Aram writes, "Oh, I make so much money, poor me." What an asshole thing to say. Is this okay? You know what? I'm actually going to ban you for that, you dick. What an asshole. Schmoomer Schmob says, I pay $15,000 a year. Now, here I am trying to tell an amusing anecdote. Terry says, I'll sell you food stamps at half the face value. I am so pissed off at Aram right now. I'm furious at him. Nick says, maybe I should stop paying for subscriptions. Sounds like I'm making your taxes harder to do. No, never stop. Never stop doing that. Sir Bob of Oliver says, being an independent contractor and dealing with 1099 is fun, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Fucking pain in the ass. All right. Aram, you are on my shit list here. You are so on my shit list here. I cannot believe the nerve that you've struck with me. I am so annoyed with you. I'm actually going to ignore you for at least a month after that one. I'm not going to read your emails. I'm not going to read your questions for my dad. You have cut me to the core. Unbelievable. You asshole. Holy shit. I like Putin more than I like you right now. What a dick thing to say. I am so weak in the knees with that comment. I am soft. Now, I don't mean my penis. I am feeling very exposed right now with that bullshit. All right. Asshole of the day. We'll talk about Aram coming up in just a bit here. Baseball news. There is none. Baseball, I think, had until yesterday before they started to delay the start of the baseball season. So now we have to focus on this. Two stories from baseball. Wife of Major League Baseball pitcher Mike Fultonevich, baseball pitcher Mike Fultonevich, makes brutal accusations against him in scathing Instagram post. Brittany Wortman announced on her Instagram stories on Sunday that she's leaving him. In the post, Wortman accused Fultonevich of abuse and of cheating on her numerous times over the course of their relationship. That's it. Get him. Get him. I just want to clarify, I am no longer with my husband, Wortman wrote. I have made the difficult decision to separate after years of abuse and discovering his long-hidden adultery during both pregnancies and after. Oh. God, thank you for casting light on a sick soul I couldn't help. Every cheater gets caught. Every cheater gets caught. Side note, the guy I bought this house from was a prolific cheater. And he was so bold that my family and other families would go down to Florida every year for the AT Children's Project Marathon in January. He would go down with his family too. and he would fly down the mistress. He'd fly the mistress down and say, hey, we'd all be sitting by the pool. The guy used to own this house. And he'd be like, hey, I'm going to go get a drink. Okay, see you in a little bit. And then he'd wander off, have sex with the mistress, come back with the drinks, sit down for 10 minutes. I need a sandwich. Go back up to the room, have sex. This one, every year, he brings her down. No one knew it. This all came out after the fact. The missus finds out about this extensive cheating scandal. Doesn't divorce him. I don't know about this yet. His house is for sale. Hey, man, I want to buy your house. Yeah, we're selling. I need a fresh start. And I remember when he said that, I thought, well, no, that's weird. I need a fresh start. Why would he say that? And then, so now looking back in hindsight, his fresh start was he had reconciled with the wife. And that was the fresh start. Wanted to get out of the house. It makes sense. Except he bought the house, and then there was no fresh start. For years after. He bought her a house, bought her a car. I mean, crazy shit. And the wife would not get rid of him. She kicked him out. They move into the new house, fantastic residence. This guy's got money. And she just waited. She just fucking waited for this asshole to get it out of his system. And he did. He finally did. He turned it around. And talk about the most graceful woman on the planet. I mean, years of it. And so open and brazen. She's like, are you still banging so-and-so? Yeah. All right, well, you can't come home. And she just hung in. And finally he came back, hat in hand, and said, I'm done having sex with that whore. I finally gave it up. Oh, my God. This woman, though, not so much. She kicked him out. As for me and my kids, anywhere but here is the best, is for the best. Anywhere but here. That's like that scene from Private Ryan. Where are we supposed to meet? Anywhere but here. I ask for everyone's privacy and respect during a time that has been an utter nightmare for me to navigate me and my children through. So how about her? She's fantastic. You can be the perfect wife and mother, but you can't change who people really are. Now, I mean, truth be told, though, there's always another side to this. Yes, he's an asshole, but somewhere along the road, things got weird. I'm not absolving him, trust me. Still the majority of his fault, but somewhere along the line, there was a disconnect. There was a communication breakdown. Mike Fultonevich, 30, was drafted by the Houston Astros in the first round of 2010. Used to be good. He last pitched for the Rangers in 2021. He went 2-12. He sucked. His best year is 2018. He went 13-10, 2.85 ERA. Made the National League All-Star team. Braves sent him down to the minors. A lot of people, his wife defended him on Instagram from a fan who accused him of being a drug addict. She defended his look of a bad start and looking gaunt to the poor lighting at Tampa's Tropicana Field, as well as his difficulty keeping weight on during the offseason, but whatever. So that's that. That's our first baseball asshole. There's another one, though. Even worse than that one. Okay. Quick look at the comments. No one is innocent in divorce. That is true. Good for her if she did it, Kate. Kate says maybe she had her own thing. Yeah, maybe. You don't know. You don't know. Radio voice Linda suggests that my guy who sold me the house, he's probably still cheating. He's just more careful now. I don't know. Oh, if that were to happen again, holy shit. Nick says Eric was like, I get the house in the divorce. Kyle says, is there secret doors in your house? Booty call doors. Come on, man. That'd be something. I will say I've only been in the attic once. Just popped my head up looking to see a pair of glowing eyes. See if I could find a pair of glowing eyes looking back at me. Nothing. The Boston Red Sox have released minor league player Brett Netzer. And it's not because he was struggling. There you go. This is Brett Netzer. My happier time. You know, look at him. Ready to take off. Run to the next base. Slide in head first. So promising. Well, shit has gone south for old Netzer. Why? I don't know. Something about a series of racist and anti-Semitic tweets might get you released. Especially if you're a shitty minor league ball player. The Boston Red Sox released prospect Brett Netzer Saturday after a series of racist, homophobic, transphobic, and anti-Semitic tweets. Listen to this one. Several of the tweets were aimed at the Red Sox chief baseball officer, whose name is Chaim Bloom. Like chain, but with an M at the end of it. His name is Chaim or Haim or Jaime. I don't know. I think that's a Jewish thing. Maybe Hebrew. I don't know. I don't even know how you describe it. I'm going to get myself canceled if I don't shut up about this Jewish name. He's important to the story because he is Jewish. The 25-year-old last played in 2019. He was shitty playing for AA Portland. I'm guessing Portland, Maine. Didn't play in 2020 because of the pandemic. He tweeted, Chaim Bloom is a bad actor. Dude went to Hebrew school and studied the Torah growing up, but sold his soul to the Sodom and race groups. Good thing he is good at whatever he does in baseball. Netzer wrote in one of many tweets attacking Bloom, who is Jewish. Netzer also sent out tweets attacking black people and transgender people. After a fellow Twitter user questioned if Netzer was hacked, he wrote, I was not hacked. He also tweeted in reply to another Twitter user, quote, I am a racist. I do sometimes make assumptions based on a person's race, ethnicity, culture. I am glad that that is now out of the way. Oh, my God. I got to follow this guy. Like if you look on his, on Twitter. So if you go to him on Twitter, above his little avatar, it says, and God spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. Why is it that so many people who quote the Bible are these fucking zealots? Pin tweet. Any person who is secretly transgender and their partner does not know and sexual actions have taken place is a rapist and a sexual molester. Anybody else think that when Jacob found the 3 flocks of sheep next to the well that the well symbolizes the Torah and the 3 flocks of sheep symbolize the 3 current world religions that use the Torah as living water? No. 9 hours ago. Personally, I think Jews got on the Christian Messiah crazy train and got carried away waiting for I don't know that word, Moshiach. King David already came. That boy is the Lord's anointed one, God's son and firstborn son. Whoever the Jews are waiting for, it ain't the Messiah. And then he adds, well, while y'all are here, do me a favor and invest in Bitcoin. I assume that every black person can dance, he writes. I assume Latins, I think he might mean Latinos or Latinas, are hardworking. I assume Asians get good grades. I assume white people don't season their food all that well. I assume Jews follow the Torah, except for shame. And then he says, I am racist. Yes. Go, keep going. Racism isn't necessarily a bad thing. Since the beginning of time, people of the same culture stay within their culture. Not a hard concept to grasp. Oh, no. Wow. This is quite an unraveling. Man. So this guy completely lost his shit. I mean, all this biblical talk, it makes you harken back to wanting like Serrano to have to fucking sacrifice a chicken before the big game for the tribe back when they were known as the Indians. That's a major league reference. So there you go. That is Brad Netzer, released by the Boston Red Sox. Crank says, I bet he claims he got hacked. Well, he already confirmed that he wasn't. Kate says, any bets on how long it takes to shut down his Twitter account? I'd say within 24 hours. Well, maybe, but the fact of the matter is he's still a poor minor league baseball player. He sucks. My God. There you go. Congratulations. Brad Netzer finally got his name out there. He couldn't do it hitting a baseball, so now the world knows who, Brett Netzer is. Congratulations. And the good news doesn't end there. You may have won an award. I think it's one of 2 baseball players. But Brett Netzer, I mean, seriously. The other guy, all he did was cheat on his wife. Mike Fultonevich or Brett Netzer? Okay, we got a lot of possibilities here, actually. You got Fultonevich, wife, the dude cheating on his wife. Brett Netzer. Hugh Jackson, the guy who scammed the charity. How about the dude who had to swear in the cop in DeWitt? I don't know if that's going to happen. All possibilities for the asshole of the day. Thank you to my pals over at Gift of Life, Michigan. This is what I'd like you to do. If you go to the website, giftoflifemichigan.org, I'm going to share this with you so you can see it for yourselves. And you can get to this website by clicking on the Gift of Life logo at ericzaneshow.com. Right here, it says Become a Donor. Click that, and then off you go. You'll end up filling a very, very simple form. Register now to be on the organ donor registry. This is an easy process. It'll take you 30 seconds. That is it. Now, all this means, and it is binding, that if something happens to you, unlikely event, that you take a dirt nap, whatever, those organs are going to be kept alive in another soul. and you will save lives. You will save up to 8 lives with the organs in your body and improve the lives of more than, about 170 more with your tissue and corneas. So please, please, please do this. Thank you so much. Blue Frost IT is the managed IT service provider for this show. You can find them online, bluefrostit.com. If you're working for the man or the woman, or you are the man or the woman, you might need a tech upgrade. You can suggest that to the boss, and my God, you're going to score some serious points right there. If the tech at your workplace sucks, the boss might be looking for an upgrade. All they need to do is reach out to Blue Frost IT for a free complimentary consultation. Otherwise, the amount of time that your boss is going to be spent buying the wrong thing is going to be quite a time-consuming affair. Time is money. Reach out 616-200-8550 to Blue Frost IT. Get a consultation about what it's going to cost to upgrade your work. They do project work. They do retrofitting offices. If the office is moving, they do all that stuff. They also do managed IT work, managed IT service provider work. And so that means that you constantly have an IT staff at your disposal. 616-200-8550. Prince Arming. We've got gun school coming up in March. Well, this is March. 616-204-1705. The class costs you $125. If you are in West Michigan, you've always wanted to carry your pistol concealed, take the class. That's all you need. One class. 8 hours of time, $125. You don't have to own a pistol. Just take the class. Once you complete the class, you can then apply for your pistol license in Michigan. Bring that little piece of paper that says you've taken and passed the class from a certified instructor like Steve Prince. Pay the county, I believe it's $110 to get a pistol license. They fingerprint you. They do a background check. In a few weeks, your pistol license shows up. There you go. You can carry a pistol concealed. Everybody should carry a pistol concealed so that when you're walking around the Clyde Park Mire and crazy schizo asshole pulls out a shank and starts stabbing people in the back, you can shoot him 100 fucking times until he's dead. That's the point. You're doing this. You're a sheepdog. You're running towards the danger. Sheepdogs need weaponry. Carry your pistol concealed. Prince Arming. 616-204-1705. Votes for the asshole of the day brought to you by TC Paintball and JM Synthetics. Jesse says, asshole of the day, Eric Zane for bringing up Twisted Sisters' We're Not Gonna Take It and getting it stuck in my head. That's a great song. You know, at the end of it, he yells, "You're all worthless and weak," which is great. Cocktail Sauce MF says, all you awesome Zaniacs have an awesome day. That's sweet. Zaniac Zoom, Aram for asshole of the day. Crown and achievement, excellent knife work from behind. Idiot. All right. Okay, I'm going to give it to Hugh Jackson for raising $157,000 in his charity and then giving someone who works for the charity, the one employee, $115,000. I'm guessing the one employee is his wife or him. Hugh Jackson, the coach of Grambling State, is the asshole of the day. And for hiring Art Briles. Okay, honorable mention for Aram. You guys are the best. Thank you. I'll be playing Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia with Dale in mere moments. Thank you. Good day now. Bye-bye.